So several years ago, I was invited to speak at MIT. Two Harvard researchers showed up, and they invited me to come and speak at their lab, which was at McLean Hospital, which is the #1 mental institution in the United States, I believe headed up by an incredible researcher named Marty Teicher. And they did this study, which was essentially a 15-week study, and they were looking at primarily boys that were at a certain age, and they all had a diagnosis of ADHD. And I said, you know what, why don't I suggest to them that they bring Interactive Metronome in on this. Anyway, what they did was they did this brain imaging. So the machine they used was like, cutting edge. So it was something that they had developed called a quotient machine. And so they did a battery of neuropsychological tests, which was using a psychological measurement, but also what they did was they used infrared cameras to measure the amount of movement of the head in the body. And so these kids went through the program, and then afterwards they were retested and they were re-imaged. And what it showed was that there was a significant difference, that there was a difference that was even beyond what was seen with medication as far as their improvement in attention and focus and in these objective measurements. I remember when they brought me into the lab at one point to show me these results. They showed me this quotient machine, and they showed me, where it measured the attention part, but then it also measured the hyperactivity part. So it literally was this kind of grafting that measured how much motor movement there was. And kids with with ADHD, they move more. But the big difference, and I remember looking over at Marty Teicher, it's like I wasn't quite sure what I was looking at, but I knew that it was something because this guy had a big smile on his face. And he said, look at the motor score. And I looked at it, and he said, we have tested everything, every drug, every procedure, anything you can imagine. Nothing has ever changed the hyperactivity, the motor hyperactivity, the amount of movements that we record on an infrared camera. Nothing has ever touched that. They said, not only did it change it, it normalized it. And he said, we have never seen anything like that before. And that's something that medication does not do. Can't do it.